AMC stock is about to go crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, today you can define as a meme stock rally across the board. You got BBBY up 70% at the high. You got APRN up 30% at the high. GameStop rallied from -3% to positive 10%. Got halted. AMC, quite the same, was down 2 to 3%, rallied up to a high of about 3.5–4%. Now, AMC is kind of lagging behind all of the rest. It looks like AMC is one of those where it kind of needs a lot of momentum to rally. Now, what do we know about this whole ape share situation? Well, synthetic shares are going to be exposed, and I think these other stocks are running before we have the big runner, which will be AMC, in my personal opinion, and we'll talk about exactly why that is and why the meme stocks are rallying here today, and why the VIX is again up today. Not this VIX, but the UVXY is up, and the UVXY is essentially the VIX, a little bit different in the way these actual contracts value, but the UVXY is the ProShares Ultra VIX short-term futures. Now, this is saying over the very short term, you could expect to see a little bit of downside based off of what's happening today. The UVXY is up 0.67%. And what is actually different about this rally that we are seeing today is a couple things. This day is a very big one. You are seeing the S&P 500 now above the 200-day moving average. Now, depending on what happens with Target earnings in the morning and Lowe's and a couple other companies, well, that could really derail this potential rally, and this could end up being a resistance level. But I'll tell you guys right now, if earnings are good with Target, if the FOMC minutes are good tomorrow, and retail sales are also positive, well, the 200-day moving average is a key level, and I would expect at least another 5 to 10 move from here, maybe approaching as high as 460 on the S&P 500 before you might start to see valuations get a little bit more stretched, and then people start to talk about valuations again. Hence, this is a very parabolic rally that we have been seeing. This is very historical. For context, you have rallied harder now than the rally you've seen after the Fed U-turned and provided liquidity to the markets after the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what's actually interesting about this rally is the large tech stocks that are really control the markets, control the S&P and the NASDAQ, they are red today. Apple is down 0.08%. If Apple was playing along with this rally, you would see a much bigger rally. But today you're really seeing the breadth, I don't even know how to say it. It sounds like breath, but it's the market breadth, right? It's not just Apple and Microsoft paving the way for the index to go higher, the S&P, the NASDAQ, as of kind of what we have seen at times throughout 2022. You could have almost the whole market red, but if Apple and Microsoft are doing well, the S&P is going to do well because they are such large weightings of the indexes. But you're actually seeing more of the broad market going up today. A lot of your consumer stocks, a lot of even your consumer discretionary stocks are going up based off of Walmart and Home Depot earnings, and that is very different from what we have seen throughout 2022. Apple actually lagging on the day, down 0.10%, when the other indexes are up, like the S&P up 0.26%. So we'll see what happens with that. If you do get Apple and Microsoft that start to play along with this rally and they start to rise throughout the day, you could very easily, by the end of the day, we don't have too much longer here in trading, you could probably close the day up 1%. If Apple and Microsoft really start to give up, your momentum stocks really start to give up. And for whatever reason, consumer stocks, consumer staples, consumer discretionaries give up, well, that could be a big problem as well. But a big reason why I think retail stocks, momentum stocks are rallying on a day where something like the UVXY, a fear gauge, is actually going up, is I think in a weird way these momentum stocks might be a quote-unquote safe haven, kind of like Apple has served as a safe haven throughout 2022. some investors and traders might actually look to momentum stocks as somewhat of a safety play, right? Their valuations really don't matter in the grand scope of their situations. The short squeeze, right? Short interest, high short interest doesn't even matter if the markets go up or down. It is what it is, essentially. So you've heard of a lot of analysts come out and say that momentum stocks look like a good trade here, and I think based off the price action, it's 100% confirmed today. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond soars 70% as meme traders talk up Ryan Cohen's call options purchase. Bed Bath & Beyond shares soared on Tuesday as retail traders active on social media piled into the stock, encouraged by news that GameStop's chairman Ryan Cohen placed another bet on the struggling retailer. Shares of Bed Bath & Beyond skyrocketed more than 70% to an intraday high of $28.04 in midday trading Tuesday amid multiple trading halts due to volatility. A regulatory filing Monday evening showed that Cohen's venture capital firm RC Ventures bought distant out-of-the-money call options on more than 1.6 million Bed Bath & Beyond shares with strike prices between $60 and $80. Investors profit from call options when the underlying securities rise in prices. Now, what is actually interesting about this is that Bed Bath & Beyond was only at $16, and Cohen is betting that Bed Bath & Beyond shares can rise as high as $80 per share. But what's very interesting is that the call options that Cohen purchased expire in January of 2023. So it's not like it's a longer dated option, right? You only have 4 months left until the end of the year, 5 months until these contracts will be expiring worthless, and that's a pretty big bet to make on a 4.5, 5 month long trade. So for good reason, people are bullish on Bed Bath & Beyond. They're bullish on GameStop. GameStop actually got halted today. AMC, not quite so much. But I do think to a certain extent, AMC is lagging behind the others. And you might see a bigger day than not for AMC stock coming here in the short-term future, especially when you look at just how well the stock has actually held up. It's been phenomenal. We have not closed under $24 per share to end out after hours trading in quite a decent amount of time. Over the last 4 trading days, we have been above $24 per share. I've had this line drawn from well before, this rally ever started. So this has been a key level I've been watching, and it looks like we're holding up support at those levels, really in a consolidation phase beyond anything else. And we've seen this happen, throughout 2022, right? One day will be Bed Bath & Beyond. One day will be GameStop. One day will be AMC. They all tend to perform well when the others do, but there is certainly select days where one stock tends to well outperform the others. And it looks like today it is BBBY and something like in Blue Apron. And for those of you guys that are not a part of the trading community and you guys have not seen this trade, I actually like this trade a lot. It's APRN. And the total market cap is 132.57 million. The stock is up. Let's go ahead and take a look. It did already have a profitable trade, a very profitable trade on this stock already, but I do think there's a good opportunity there, especially with the debit spreads on Blue Apron, and it is up about 26% at the time of recording this video over the 200-day moving average, and the short interest for a relatively low market cap is sitting at about 39%, with cost to borrow rates around 26.87% for the minimum, for the max, and for the cost to borrow average. And you are seeing some option activity, which this stock is not used to seeing. About $200,000 worth of call options placed on this stock September 16th, January 20th, 2023, and August 19th, in between $5.50 or $5 and the $6 calls that have been purchased by hedge funds here today. So I think that is very encouraging, and I think a stock like this could easily go through a pretty big rally because the market cap is very low and the options are relatively inexpensive for the way this company could end up moving. Now, in regards to what we have for tomorrow, we do have economic data. We do have retail sales month over month for July that comes out tomorrow. If this number is really bad for whatever reason, that's not going to be such a good thing, right? With the markets in this whole paradigm shift that the Fed's going to slow down raising rates, the last thing you really want to see right now is economic data starting to weaken. Yes, it might force the Fed to slow down quicker, or maybe they just don't, or maybe the markets have been wrong about this whole rally, and we'll get some clues to that. 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. Fed Bowman, he does speak at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow, and that will also be very important. And then you have the FOMC minutes at 2 p.m., and then you have Fed Bowman that speaks right after that at 2:20 p.m. And the FOMC minutes is really the transcript of the last Fed meeting, so we're going to get some more clarity as to why the Fed decided to raise rates 50 basis points instead of 75 or 1%. So that will be key. As far as AMC stock directly, the cost to borrow max is sitting at 67.11%. This is honestly no surprise to me, just because of how these momentum stocks have reacted today. That's the bottom line to it. If just one stock was rallying, 67% cost to borrow max would be like, wow, what's going on? But if we didn't see the cost to borrow max spiking, that would be a red flag. That would be a real big question of why is it not happening. Nonetheless, it's a positive thing. 67% cost to borrow max is a bullish thing. Cost to borrow average at about 9%, cost to borrow minimum at about 4.49%. So bullish across the board, at least with the cost to borrow numbers. Now, the short interest dollar amount is sitting at 2.23 billion. Estimated short interest of free flow still at about 17.88%. Free flow out on loan 26.29%. Shares out on loan 135.45 million. Days covered 2.94. Cost to borrow 8.86% and 100% share utilization. Now, let's just remind everyone that I have been very vocal in predicting that I do think the MOS will happen end of summer, beginning of fall, and it looks like at this pace, at this trajectory, the end of August, September, October could be very good months for a lot of the apes, for the momentum traders in general. Now, as far as the option activity, you're looking at about 51 orders totaling $5.7 million, positive order value of 70%. So that's good, but I will say, guys, the Fed does not want this to happen. So I think it might be pretty easy, even tomorrow during the Fed minutes, that the Fed might try to talk this down. They might try to come out and say, yeah, guys, we're not going to slow down raising rates. And then we'll have to see how the markets react to that, because the last thing Fed Powell wanted is for financial conditions to loosen this much, this aggressively. Like, he didn't want a 20-25% stock market rally in a month based off of what he said. That makes people feel richer. That makes people spend more money. And companies don't feel inclined to drop prices, even if their input costs start to come down. Now, as far as the actual earnings for tomorrow morning, you have Target, Zim, Lowe's, Analog Devices, Krispy Kreme, TJ Maxx, PFG, MCG, Cresco Labs, and DNE Connect. Really the big ones. Krispy Kreme, that sounds delicious, but it's not going to be important. Lowe's, Target, and TJ Maxx, those are going to be the ones that are really important, but most important will be Target, because that's really your higher income demographic, even compared to a Walmart. So I think there could be a stark contrast between what the numbers look like between Walmart and Target. Walmart, lower consumers. They also said that today on their earnings call that they're starting to get a lot of higher net worth individuals shopping at Walmart. If that is taking away from Target, well, you might get a mixed bag as far as consumers are concerned. Maybe Walmart, Home Depot are the winners because they are the lower end consumers, and then maybe Lowe's and Target, as they are higher end consumers, might be the ones to not benefit as much. And if we get bad earnings out of them, well, that could have an opposite reaction or effect to what we are seeing today. But all in all, guys, it looks like momentum stocks are probably here to stay, and I think AMC stock is about to make a pretty big move, in my personal opinion. I think it's only a matter of time before AMC has its big day and BBBY or GME have positive days as well, but maybe not as big as AMC. So nonetheless, that is going to be all for this video. Keep in mind, we did break above the 200-day moving average on the S&P 500 here today, which is sitting right now Let's go ahead and see at 429.12. So if we do end up closing above that by the last candle of today, especially in after hours as well, that's going to be an incredibly bullish thing heading into tomorrow. Depending how earnings go, if earnings are bullish and the stock market continues to go higher, well, we could be looking at another at least 5 to 10% from here, at least targeting that 460 range on the S&P 500, which would be about another $30 move to the upside. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, APRN is now up 33% on the day. We made a trade on this when it was up 8%. If you guys want to be a part of that action, link down below in the description of this video. Nonetheless, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.